episode is brought to you by Graphic Master Comics. The link is going to be in the description below. Also by Snickers and Chips Ahoy. Alright, welcome to another exciting episode of the Vampire Priest. I'm going to be your host for today, Father Antonio Rivera, and today we are going over Dragon Ball Super Volume 6. I did notice something about the Supers. The covers almost have nothing to do with the inside. This might be just a representation of what's to come, but it's not necessarily part of what you're going to read. It's an awesome illustration. Again, we're picking up right off of where 5 was, which was the Battle of the Gods. I think that's what they were called, the Battle of the Gods, and we see that in here, the two Zeno had to stop it and put a stop to it because it's becoming so messy. Everything is just exploding. The ground's blowing up. Everything's coming up into the air. So they have to stop the fight because they can't see it. They don't know what's going on. All they see are clouds of smoke. So what they do is Goku is there and so is Toppo, and they have them fight. And they go at it, and this would be a cool thing to see. I think it might have been in the anime. I don't. Again, it's been a year. I don't really remember. I wasn't into the anime. Fully admit it. I'm starting to get into it now, and that's only because of the manga. And I got into the manga because my youngest kid was just pissing me off. I just got tired of that kid, man. So I'm reading the manga just to shut him up on when it comes to Dragon Ball. I don't know how it happened overnight. He became a bigger Dragon Ball fan than I did, than I ever was. But then again, he has more access to stuff, online and Crunchyroll. Whereas when I was watching Dragon Ball, it was whatever I could find on TV that came out, or if I had a friend who had the Cartoon Network and was able to tape it and send me a tape. It was those bricks VCR tapes. But the fight scene between Goku and Toppo is pretty cool. As you can see right here, he gets kicked in the Dragon Balls by Toppo, and that sends him off of the ring. He actually loses this fight, which incentivizes Goku to push for this tournament of power, and he's really eager and excited about it. And it's so they go over the rules of it. They find out what's going on, and it isn't towards the end of it where we actually find out that at the Battle of the Gods, we actually find out that what's at stake, and that powering up Goku actually was a plot point to make sure that all of the universes have a fighting chance to survive. So if it was, they turn everything around where, this is all kind of Goku's fault. But at the same time, if it wasn't for his fault, the universes wouldn't be fighting for a chance to survive. So now he's kind of like a savior in a sort, giving them at least a fair chance. Meanwhile, the clown guy, the clown god of destruction, he's not worried at all because all he cares about is Jiren. He said, hey, Jiren's got this. There's nothing there. So they have to go back to Earth. They have to do the recruiting. Whis gives, he basically gives birth to Bola. He uses his magic to remove her from the womb, and apparently there's nothing wrong with Bulma. There's no placenta, no afterbirth, no cutting the umbilical cord. All of that is done through Whis magic, and it's literally a panel. Right here we see it. Boop. There you go. That whole thing was just, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. And it just seems like, okay, they painted themselves into a corner with this birth, but they're going to show this magic and godlike powers to get out of it because they need Vegeta for the next what's coming up in the next chapter. So they have to go through the recruiting, find everybody that's going on. They do it all over the place in all different universes, but in our universe, the idea is you can't tell people what's really going on because if you do, if you let them know, they're not going to want to fight. Which is dumb because, if I have to fight for my universe, I'm going all in. They do have the restrictions, no flying, no killing, that kind of a deal. But when it comes to Universe 11, actually, I kind of like the story arc for the Universe 11. I would have liked to see that more, and that's because it has Jiren in it, and you see the this police force of superheroes, Avengers in space, I guess you could call them, and they're coming together. But you also see Jiren as a loner, and you actually see how powerful he is, where he can fly from one planet to the other without the need of a spaceship, because he reached that level of power. So when you're watching the anime and you see Jiren fighting, just know that that's where to gauge his power level. He takes out a whole threat all by himself, even though the rest of the troopers are, they're helping each other out, and they're gathering each other's forces. So, at first Jiren, he doesn't want to do this. He could care less about this tournament of power. He's told about the wishes, and his deal is he will participate on one condition: if the Universe 11 needs justice during that 48 minutes, he's leaving the tournament and coming back to Universe 11. I said, all right, fine, you can do that. Then we go to they're doing the anniversary of when Hercule defeated Perfect Cell, and Krillin is recruited. I prefer the way Krillin was recruited in the anime as opposed to the manga, because the manga is very short. It's just Goku goes over there and says, hey, each person is getting 10 million zeni if you participate. If we win, if you come out victorious, you're going to get this. So that's 20 million there. Android 18 is all in because they need money. They can't survive on Krillin's cop salary. So that's dumb. I really like the way the anime portrayed it. It really came off a lot better than in the manga. So that's one of the perks about the anime as opposed to the manga, and how they're different, so that you can like both. So this actually kind of glosses over the whole Krillin 18 thing. It's just Krillin's a loyalist. He's got Goku's back no matter what. Doesn't matter how scared he is. He's going to be there. We get it. We understand it. We get a peek at Oob here. And then Dende's talking about him and saying this is a superpower being. On their way to go find Android 17, they find him in the island. Goku confuses Marauders and poachers for Android 17. You got to remember, they never met before, and here it's very clear they have no idea who they are. Goku has no idea who this guy is. He'd never seen him. He fought Cell when 17 was in his body, but he doesn't know who he is. So they finally get to meet. They talk. They have a little back and forth fighting. Goku was finally able to convince 17 to join, and he does it by telling him that Krillin is already going to participate. And he's doing it because Krillin in Dragon Ball Z uses Shenron to wish away the self-destruct and destruction bombs that are inside of the androids. So 18 and 17 are free from that, and he's doing it kind of like and he's doing it in honor of what that happened, and as a way to say thank you, because they never really said thank you to Krillin. I don't even think that Android 18 ever said thank you, and they're married and have a kid together. By the way, my kid pointed this one out. My youngest, he tells me that Marin, Krillin's daughter, is named after his ex. And yeah, and just like the whole Martha thing with Superman and Batman, you know it's something, but it doesn't register, it doesn't click into it until it's pointed out to you. And then the whole thing is okay. They're going through who they want. Um, Yamcha is on the last reserve, and nobody wants them to say his name. They do Yamcha dirty. I mean, I get it. He's not the greatest of the fighters, but he is a Z fighter, and he has held his own. Um, they go after Piccolo. Piccolo actually says, they have 24, 48 hours to recruit all of 10 people. Piccolo grabs Gohan and he goes to training with him, which I like. I like that they go to training with one another, and we don't get to see that, but we get to see Gohan in his Piccolo suit, which I would have loved to see in the anime. I really hate the tracksuit, and as much as I do like the relationship between Gohan and Goku because they are father and son, Gohan has a really special relationship with Piccolo. The two of them have this mentorship. It's Piccolo is a father figure for him. We can't escape that. We can't deny that, and it is a really good relationship that they have. And we see how much Piccolo loves Gohan because he's like, I'm going to train him. You go do what you got to do. I'm going to train him. What I do like is Kaba. He's my favorite of the Dragon Ball Super characters. Um, so Vegeta and Krillin, even though they're my boys, I really do like them. They're from Z. Krillin is from the original Dragon Ball, just transferring over. Vegeta's transferring over from Z. But out of the Super characters so far, as of Volume 6, Kaba is my favorite. It's Kaba or Kaba? I don't know. I hear it twice, two different ways in the anime, so I'm going to say Kaba and go from there. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This girl here, what is it? Khalifa? Khalifa. I gotta really learn people's names here. I like her story. She is a pirate. She is a bad guy, even though she's fighting all of these girls and she's raising them herself. But she is kind of a brute force, and she is the Goku of Universe 6. Kaba is the Vegeta of Universe 6. And we see how their roles are completely, totally reversed. Where in Universe 6, Kaba, he has good mentorship. He has a good father figure, even though he's raised as a warrior. And we see how his personality turns out. He's more helpful. He wants to help the Saiyans. He wants to do all of that. Whereas Khalifa, she is more of doesn't care attitude. She's gonna do what she needs to do. They're very similar in Universe 7. However, this is almost like the extreme version of them. And we see, Khalifa's friend. I don't know what her name is. The Broly of Universe 6. She is very fast. She is very powerful, but you could tell that she's hiding her reserves. Kaba is the one who notices all of this. And this is just a really cool image. Going Super Saiyan. And this is the part where this is the volume that I really like because we get to see more of the Z fighters, and we get to see them confronting Goku about him lying to them about what's at stake and what needs to happen, and them all coming back together and fighting together as one. We get a little bit of the Frieza arc, or the Resurrection F, and in Volume 1 it tells us to go, look at the anime for all of that. And this is where we find out that Goku wants to go rent Frieza for a day because he's going to be very helpful. And it turns out that he is very helpful. I do like this first-person view Frieza. It's really cool and exciting. Um, I, Super does things, and their Broly fight scene in the Broly movie was fantastic, especially when they did the first person, and you see Goku being punched in the face repeatedly. Um, and so yeah, I do like that. Um, Here we have the Z Fighters. Master Roshi is actually a bad man Bajamba, and we see that in the anime, but we read about it here in the manga. So we get Frieza for 24 hours. Um, he's free, but he has to help, and his wish is to come back alive. That's it. That's what he wants to wish to be, and then that's fine. They all go soaring off into the fight, and this right again, the Vegeta right here, with the Bulma, just really hitting you in the emotions. He doesn't have to say too much. It's really kind of like Bulma saying goodbye to Vegeta, that they're gonna wait. It really is reminiscent of the Spartans, with your shield around it. So that's my take. That's my review. This does help me appreciate the anime more. The anime really got me into the manga because I wanted to see more of what was going on. And again, feel free to comment, share, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Who's your favorite Dragon Ball character of all time? And from regular Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, GT to Super. I currently have my Crunchyroll on pause right now with GT. I watch it in between these takes. But let me know what's going on in your head. Do you prefer the anime? Do you prefer the manga? Why? If you never read the manga, I suggest picking it up. It's really cool. It's really exciting. You can go through each of the stories, the chapters, the episodes, and see the differences, see the similarities, and it helps you to enjoy each one individually.